craze is going strong, and St. Paul is taking another step toward cashing in on the beer boom. Tomorrow, the St. Paul City Council is expected to approve a new ordinance that would make it easier to open microbreweries. Our Jay Coles is live in St. Paul now, and Jay, the city already created microbrew zones earlier this year, so what would this new law do?
Well, Ellen, it would make it easier to open up a brew pub in a neighborhood just like this on Smith Avenue, which is just off 7th Street. Now, you see the old stone house behind me? That was built prior to the Civil War, and it was St. Paul's first saloon. It's being renovated now. It hopes to maybe open someday as a tap room with beer only. But under this new ordinance, it could, if it wanted to, become a microbrewery. You can feel the history and almost hear the stories behind these limestone walls. Walls quarried from nearby Mississippi River bluffs 156 years ago. About the time Minnesota became a state in 1858, this was a Stonehouse saloon.
A single one-room saloon with one bartender.
And it's about to go back to its roots as a tap room, selling only beer.
The windows.
Jim Sasevich makes his living as a historian and just happens to live across the street. He says the vision for the city's oldest standing commercial building has neighbors on board.
To us, it's a terrific idea. This is a neighborhood of history that's part of our history, part of our earliest commercial history in this neighborhood.
And as St. Paul eases restrictions on microbreweries in neighborhoods, the owner could expand this into a brew pub.
They're different than a stand-up bar, obviously, but it creates a category where it's much more easy to go into a TN district.
A TN district is a zone neighborhood. Right now, City Council member Dave Thune says microbreweries would not be allowed here. But he says the new ordinance will change all that. He says expanding business growth is good for everyone in the city.
Sales tax, property taxes, it completes the building. I mean, in this case, this was a derelict building.
That's a wood shingle roof.
And for the local historian known as the House Detective, making this a tap room for beer comes full circle for the city's oldest neighborhood dating back to the mid-1800s.
This is the neighborhood where most of the beer was manufactured.
You know, Councilmember Thune told me, hey, St. Paul, it's all about the beer. And he says, one other good thing about this, he says it brings in jobs, and he says they can't open up bars in a lot of the wards here in St. Paul right now because they've already reached their limit. So he says opening up these opportunities for brew pubs creates those jobs and also more taxes, and he says it's just a better business atmosphere. Reporting live in St. Paul, Jay Coles, 5 Eyewitness.